Well, I'm with Brianna Harding. And Brianna, you've got quite a wealth of history within motorsport and more recently football.
Yes,
So
I
what
do.
exactly do you do?
So I'm the head of HR for Crystal Palace Football Club. Prior to that, I was the head of HR of McLaren Formula E and a HR business partner at Aston Martin Formula One team.
Wow, you got that spiel
Oh, yeah.
absolutely perfect. What is it that you are doing to contributing to Racing Pride and the inclusion? Because I'm led to believe you're a bit of an unsung hero, and you may very well be the first person that Richard met to have helped him in quite a huge way. So let us know how you've helped.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So I became a director of Racing Pride last month. I think that was a bit of a token as a thanks for helping Racing Pride get to where they are. I was speaking to Richard when Racing Point was sort of prior to Aston, and it was all about how we can inclusively and authentically talk about LGBT in the workplace and get people on board to be collaborative and inclusive employees. It was all about allyship, and it was all about how you don't know who your colleagues are really, and you want to help them bring their full selves to work, and that way we all succeed and performance increases. So Richard was brilliant, and we talked all about learning and development. We talked about pronouns and email signatures. I think I'd said to him, right, let's do a Pride event, let's sponsor a Pride March. And he said, well, you're not quite ready for that yet. You need to do some internal work first. And they really became partners throughout that whole process. They were more than just a service delivery. It really was a partnership on how we could authentically bring in Racing Pride to Racing Point. And then it's just been amazing to watch that carry through to Aston Martin and where they are now. It's amazing.
Do you feel that if somebody is hiding sort of who they genuinely feel they are underneath, regardless of what box they're ticking, do you feel that then does hinder their performance?
It absolutely does. It takes so much energy to pretend to be someone else for the day or hide a part of yourself for the day. And if we can allow people to really bring part or full of their full self to work, then they can really give us their full performance and they can live happier and healthier lives. You don't necessarily need to bring 100%, but if you can bring a bit more than you do already and we can create an environment that encourages that, I think that's going to be amazing performance overall, but also help them to live a really positive working life. We spend so much time with our colleagues, and if we can be ourselves around them, talk about our partners, talk about our hobbies, that really creates such a special environment.
Yeah, definitely. So Aston Martin have pretty much led, Racing Point first, and then
Yes.
Aston Martin have pretty much led the way anyway, because when Sebastian Vettel took it upon himself to be quite the spokesperson, was that a surprise for you that he did that?
I don't think I anticipated it. I didn't anticipate him to be such a leader in that space as he was. And when I left Aston, they actually sent me a shirt that said "Continue the good fight." And I've got it up in my office now just to remind me of the journey that we've been on. And we worked on a couple of projects together with Racing Pride, all about authenticity and inclusivity. And he was just beyond. I couldn't even put it into words, the amount that he did for our team and the sport as a whole, just to be a spokesperson on that and do it so honestly and so authentically. I think at no point he was ever formally asked to do any of that. It was all off his own back, which for us, we knew we were working for the right team when one of our drivers had the same values.
Yeah, I think it's brave of a team in quite a sort of predominantly white, heterosexual, male-dominated sport to have taken that on anyway, as Racing Pride and Aston Martin did, because it's a risk and it's obviously putting their head above the parapet. But for somebody like Seb to do it as an individual, to then become potentially a target and maybe potentially have some negativity come his way. Did anything come his way? Did he have to deal with anything at all that you know about?
I think a quite common comment in social media that we see, or saw at Aston, but also see across the industry, is about the sport not getting involved in politics and just stick to the sport. And I think we continue to get the message out, and Seb continued to get the message out about why it was so important. And you kind of have to almost ignore those voices and continue fighting your fight because it means so much to everybody else that sees it. So I think he was just a champion and persevering.
I wanted to ask that for companies that are perhaps behind, that aren't as leading, and that may be worried or sort of tentative, and to see the benefits that it has given Sebastian himself and also to Racing Point and Aston Martin. And that's kind of the reason why I asked you that, even though, you know, we want it to be lovely, fluffy, nice conversations, but we still have to get to the root of some of the issues at the end of the day. So, you know, thank you for kind of answering that so lovely. So regarding the future, for yourself, what exactly are you looking forward to in the future?
Spreading inclusion, working in, if it's different industries, different companies, just continuing on the same mission, you know, really looking at these EDI strategies, authentically tying them into business strategies, taking employees on that journey with us as we go, you know, really getting to the core of that business and what will work for them. There's definitely no one-size-fits-all approach. That's why Racing Pride is so brilliant. They look at the organisation, they see what would fit best for them, what their employees need, the level that they're at, and suit accordingly. So I just absolutely love spreading that inclusion as part of my work. You know, I'm in HR because I love people, and I love being able to see people thrive as themselves and get involved in things like this. I think it's just beautiful.
Yeah. So now all that's happened within Formula One, and there's been some, you know, sort of very clear messages put out there. Do you feel that Formula One is now sort of leading the way as a whole, as a sport?
Definitely. The amount that they're doing internally and reflecting it externally is just phenomenal. The impact that has on the fans, as the industry as a whole, anyone that comes across it can see that inclusion on the screens where we didn't see it maybe 15 years ago. We were sort of seeing the teams all look the same, act the same, and not even talk about EDI. And now we're talking about having a sort of pride flag on the cars, you know, represented in the sport, a diverse team on TV. It's just phenomenal, and it's going to create such a more diverse and innovative industry as that continues.
Do you feel that Formula One motorsport as a whole can help to change the rest of the world?
I really hope so. I think just the representation on TV will do a massive load. You know, maybe not for the country as a whole, but some of the people that live within it or follow the sport may be more inclined to get involved in that respect, or you know, feel even more proud to be following Formula One because of what they're standing for. So I think little steps, but it will definitely get there.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you so much, Brianna. It's been an absolute pleasure to meet you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.